You should watch our debate coverage if you missed it last night. I'm not talking to you, Nando. I'm talking to the rest of the audience. But it was an interesting night. I'm not gonna lie. I was drinking whiskey while watching.
Less lethal, but it was a total disaster.
It makes everything easier, right?
No, and I makes it funnier. I'm the Soyless macho. He was drunk. The final debate was almost a disappointment. Donald Trump was calm. He almost didn't interrupt that much. They got the mics when the other person was talking, so it wasn't fun. Disappointing. Almost. Because here, in the land of the people who care about the comedy, we had Anna, the savior. She got us drunk. Oh, that wasn't coffee. What was it, Anna?
I was drinking whiskey while watching.
Whiskey. She was out of control. She was screaming all night. She saved the night and made it super funny. Thank you, Anna. And thank you, alcoholism. Woo! And as per usual with the Young Turks coverage of these political events, they had technical problems again.
This wasn't done by smart people. No. This wasn't done by...
Oh no, okay, we're having a slight issue. We'll get right back to it.
Many times the Young Turks in their coverage of political events have been completely muted. Not this time though. This time they were only almost muted.
They gave me a therapeutic, I guess they would call it. Some people could say it was a cure. But I was in for a short period of time, and now they say I'm immune. Whether it's 4 months or a lifetime, nobody's been able to say that. But I've been congratulated by the heads of many countries on what we've been able to do
That's why I won't be able to put a lot of background music in this video. Don't blame me, blame the Young Turks. But whatever, let me show you how the night began. Oh, the night began with Chang Yogur telling you what he really feels about certain people.
This debate is being conducted for a couple of categories of Americans. One is brain-dead Americans who cannot tell the difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. 2, people who hate news and politics. And there's probably a third category, but I'm not sure what it is, because if you haven't made up your mind about Donald Trump, you probably don't have much of a mind to make up.
And I look at the mirror and I think, God damn it, I am one fat mother F. You know what? That's it. I'm fat. That's it. I'm fat. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and live with that.
That is a potentially disastrous epiphany.
Yeah.
No.
That's like a Cartman decision.
No.
As I get to my last bit of diet advice, let's note the irony of a guy who's not even really 5'9", and according to his doctor, 260 pounds and morbidly obese.
You're morbidly obese?
Last time I was at the doctor, he's called me morbidly obese. Now look, in my case, as you all know, I have a great ass. I have a very disparate body. I have a very strange body. From the waist down, looks like the fittest man alive. Everything's gold, the thighs are gold, the calves are gold, the ass is gold, and obviously, I don't need to say anything else about what else is gold.
Oh, Jesus.
But once you get above the waist, then we got issues.
He also went full Alex.
So at this point, Biden has an 8-point lead nationally in a combination of polls that includes total junk polls like Trafalgar and Rasmussen, which just go, Trump by 17. 17, yeah, that's what we think, right? I mean, it's absurd.
Leading by 17?
Yeah, I'm kidding. It's hyperbole, but not by much, okay? Trafalgar is nowhere near the other polls. They're off by 10, 15 points.
I don't even know what is that. I've never even heard of that in my life.
It's a right-wing polling operation that's just silly. And they're trying to make it seem like Trump has a chance, so that if Trump wants to steal the election, he can say, well, I mean, Trafalgar said I was winning by 1 in Ohio, right? So that's the point.
And then the debate began, and Chen Huger was doing faces like a child.
We closed up the greatest economy in the world in order to fight this horrible disease that came from China.
And Biden wasn't doing so well. Sometimes he struggled to make sense.
$15 would be
President
ruined.
Trump, thank you. Quick response, Vice President Biden.
2 jobs, 1 job,
be below poverty.
He wasn't giving Mr. Yogurt anything to work with, but Mr. Yogurt did his best.
Come on, folks.
So, President Trump.
There's a reason why he's bringing up all this malarkey. There's a reason for it.
And then Donald Trump let us all know what he really believes about black people.
Nobody has done more for the black community than Donald Trump. And if you look, with the exception of Abraham Lincoln, possible exception, but the exception of Abraham Lincoln, nobody has done what I've done.
Abraham Lincoln here is one of the most racist presidents we've had in modern history. He pours fuel on every single racist fire.
He made a reference to Abraham Lincoln. Where did that come in? I mean,
you said you're Abraham Lincoln.
No, where did that? No. I said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the black community.
And I'm saying,
I didn't say I'm Abraham Lincoln. I said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the black
God, it's so embarrassing.
No, you have done nothing other than the crime bill, which put tens of thousands of black men mostly in jail.
All right, Vice President Biden, let me give you a chance to respond within this context. Crime bills that you supported in the 80s and 90s contributed to the incarceration of tens of thousands of young black men.
The Young Turks tried to correct Donald Trump with facts and logic, but they were sadly factually incorrect as Anna get closer to the whiskey.
People were saying $750. I asked them a week ago, I said, what did I pay? They said, sir, you prepaid tens of millions of dollars. I prepaid my tax. Tens over the last number of years.
No.
Tens of millions of dollars I prepaid. But let me just tell you, I prepaid millions and millions of dollars in taxes.
It's just not true.
Number one. No. Number two, I don't make money from China. You do. Joe got $3.5 million from Russia, and it came through Putin because he was very friendly with the former mayor of Moscow. You got $3.5 million. Your family got $3.5 million. Regardless of me, I think you have to clean it up and talk to the American people. Maybe you can do it right now. Then he's a corrupt politician. Right. So don't give me the stuff about how you're this innocent baby. Joe, they're calling you a corrupt politician.
Nobody's
President Trump, I want to stay on the issue of race. We're talking about the issue.
Laptop from hell.
President Trump, we're talking about race right now.
They even have a statement that we have to give 10% to the big man. You're the big man, I think. I don't know. Maybe you're not. But you're the big man, I think. You said we have to give 10% to the big man. Joe, what's that all about? It's terrible.
And then there was the guy who was a business guy, and he said, the big man, and I think you're the big man, I think. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Reported to be on Hunter Biden's laptop, and that is an email in which the breakdown of a business deal, the percentage distributions from a business deal with a Chinese energy company would be doled out, including 10% for, quote, the big guy. And everybody who's wondered who is the big guy, we had some information that the big guy is Joe Biden.
And you just sound like a guy calling him, I think you're the big man. That almost sounds positive.
And then, la mamasita, ellos sí came up.
If you look at his plan, his environmental plan, you know who developed it? AOC +3. They know nothing about the climate. I mean, she's got a good line of stuff, but she knows nothing about the climate.
What is good line of stuff?
And they're all hopping through hoops for AOC +3. This wasn't done by smart people. No. This wasn't done by...
No. Oh no, okay, we're having a slight issue. We'll get right back to it. But he said, what does that mean when he said about AOC? She has a good line of stuff. I don't know what that means. And he's like, no, it's not big.
I think she has a good line of stuff.
This new revelation that Anna Kasparian has lesbian inclinations could only mean the whiskey was having an effect. It was only a matter of time until Anna Kasparian started drinking with reckless abandon.
Let me ask you a follow-up question.
They did it. We changed the policy.
Your response to that?
They did it. We changed.
Did not.
They built the cages.
He's such a liar.
Who built the cages, Joe?
Let's talk about what
Who
we're
built
talking
the cages,
about. Let's
Joe?
talk about what we're talking about.
But just ask one question. who built the cages? I'd love you to ask him that. Who built the cages?
Let me ask about your immigration policy.
Parents are taking it across the Rio Grande River, and it's illegal.
He did nothing except build cages to keep children in.
Vice President Biden, your response.
The catch and release. You know what he's talking about there? You come to the United States and you make your case that I seek asylum based on the following premise: why I deserve it under American law.
Biden just wouldn't say he didn't build the cages for the children, and the Young Turks ended up taking themselves off their own stream. That was enough. Oh, the whiskey. The whiskey came. Finally, the whiskey. And being slightly drunk made Anna lose it. She lost it.
Because I have a lot of people in there, deep down in the IRS, they treat me horribly. We made a deal, it was all settled until I decided to run for president. But we had a deal all done, 3 years. It started before I even got elected.
Non-stop
they spied on my campaign. No presidential.
Yeah, I remember talking about it on the show and I couldn't even keep it together. Usually I do a pretty okay job keeping it together. If I need to cry, I'll just do it during a break and get over it and come back and do the show. I couldn't even keep it together during the show.
They went through everything I had, including my tax returns, but he didn't move quicker. He was months behind me, many months behind me. And
he's not in charge.
He ran the H1N1 swine flu, and it was a total disaster, far less lethal, but it was a total disaster. A good relationship.
Vice President Biden, to you, North Korea conducted 4 nuclear tests under the Obama administration. Why do you think you would be able to rein in this persistent threat?
Because I'd make it clear, which we were making clear to China.
He wouldn't. Let's just move on.
Because here's the reason.
I made it
clear.
They tried to meet with him. He wouldn't do it. And that's okay. You know what?
Because he couldn't manipulate Obama the way he manipulated you. You look freaking
people don't listen. Having a good relationship with leaders of other countries is a good thing.
We have a lot of questions to get to.
He's selling sheets and pillows to North Korea.
Under what he wants to do, which will basically be socialized medicine, he won't even have a choice. They want to terminate 180 million plans. We have done an incredible job on health care. And we're going to do even better.
You've done nothing.
Okay. What do you say to people who have concerns that your health care plan, which includes a government insurance option, takes the country one step closer to a health care system run entirely by the government? What's your response to
it's ridiculous. It's like saying that,
I say it's awesome.
And he doesn't come from Scranton. He lived there for a short period of time before.
Where do you come from, Trump?
And he left.
Where do you come from?
Opportunity zones with Tim Scott, a great senator from South Carolina.
F you and your stupid opportunity zones. I don't even give a crap what he has to say about this. Trash.
After 3 years of coming to the office, I love some of those guys. They were great. They came into the office.
Trash.
And I said, what are you doing? 10-year long-term funding, and I gave them more
long-term funding to real estate developers. Trash.
You guys did nothing. I ran because of you. I ran because of Barack Obama.
You're doing nothing. You're helping your cronies.
Because you did a poor job. If I thought you did a good job, I would have never run. I would have never run. I ran because of you. I'm looking at you now. You're a politician. You got nothing done.
38,000 prisoners were released.
What did you get done, punk?
You put tens of thousands of mostly black young men in prison. Now you're saying you're going to undo that. Why didn't you get it done? You had 8 years with Obama. You know why, Joe? Because you're all talk and no action.
All right, Vice President Biden, and then we're going to move on to the next section.
We had a Republican Congress.
No, don't.
Well, you got to talk them into it, Joe. Sometimes
all right.
You got to talk them into it.
Oh, why didn't you talk Nancy Pelosi into
Joe. Criminal justice reform.
Deflect and talk about his failures.
Gentlemen,
we're
running out of time.
Fracking on federal land, I said. No fracking.
Let it go.
No oil.
Okay, I have one final question.
Would he close down the oil industry?
It falls.
Would you close down the oil industry?
By the way, I would transition from the oil industry, yes.
Oh,
I would
that's
transition.
A big statement.
It is a big statement.
That's a
because
big statement.
I would stop.
Why would you do that?
Because the oil industry pollutes significantly.
I see.
Here's the deal. But
that's
you can't
a big
do
statement.
That. Well, if you let me finish the statement.
That's maybe the biggest statement in terms of business. That's the biggest
Cut his
statement.
mic.
Because basically what he's saying is he is going to destroy The oil industry.
his mic.
And what about fracking?
All right, let me allow Vice President Biden to respond.
I never said I oppose fracking.
You said it on tape.
Okay, please move on.
Put it on your website.
I'll put it on.
Put it on the website. The fact of the matter is, he's flat lying.
Biden to respond.
Never said I oppose fracking.
You said it on tape.
I did. Show the tape. Put it on your website.
I'll put it on.
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated.
What about, say, stopping fracking and stopping pipeline infrastructure?
Exactly. No new fracking. You got to transition away from it. Look, you're going to ban fracking all across America right now, right?
I would love to.
Yeah, I'd love to too. I'd love to make sure we can't use any oil or gas, period.
So did Donald Trump lose the debate? Of course he lost the debate.
Yeah.
How could a guy like that ever win a debate?